Okay, you asked about David Copperfield and how we met and what was happening. I was out busy working, and I remember I worked for the Sears Roebuck Foundation, a charitable thing, and I was real good friends with the fellow who headed it up, and he was there one night at one of my shows where they had booked me to appear, and they came over, and he introduced me to a man with a big advertising firm, and the man said, "Do you know David Copperfield?" And I said, "Yes, 18 years old, I just saw him do The Magic Man in Chicago, a great show." Well, Doug Henning's been on about 5 years on his national TV show and everything, and we think he's good too, and we're thinking about having him do some television for us. It was Grant Advertising Agency, big advertising agency, and I said, "Well, you got a winner," and he'll be around for a long time, and I praised him as much as I could, and so sure enough, he started in doing his shows and got better and better and better and better. And also, David's certainly one of the hardest working guys and one of the smartest guys, because you have to be a businessman. What a great businessman he is. And he took magic to heights never dreamed of. I mean, Keller, Dante, Thurston, they all had great careers. They never thought anybody could move up and appear on all these national TV shows and make millions of dollars, you know. But they would have been proud of magic and what David's done for it. So anyway, David started calling me. He loved the ladder levitation, and he wanted to do it on his show, but that was my signature trick. And I said, "David, I appreciate your asking, but, right now that's my signature trick. I want to do it a while longer." He said, "Well, I understand."
Walter Blaney is just an amazing role model in my life. He's a great father, a great creator. Just one of the great inventors in magic history. That particular illusion, the ladder levitation, stands up with every great magic invention.
But he called the next year, and the next, and the next, about 4 years in a row. And about the 5th year he called, and I got to thinking, I said, "David, heck, I've had my fun with it. I've gotten to do it all over the world. Let's do it. I'll build one for you, and I'll be proud and honored if you did it. I'm your biggest fan, and I'm honored really that you asked." He said, "Well, I've got what I think will be a cute way of doing it." He didn't tell me what it was, but I said, "Okay," so I built it. It took a year. I was building 6, and then I had to stop these 5 to finish one in time for his October special in 1986. He flew me out to Los Angeles to show it to him, and I took the thing out and set it up in one corner, and he had a magician friend, very good magician named Ray Pierce. I can't recall of his wife's name at that time. He's remarried, I think, but she was the levitee, or the floatee, and I was the floater. And so I did it, and I turned on a little tape music, and I just went through the whole routine. But he loved it, and of course, the rest is history. But he does it to perfection, and it does the trick to perfection. And I was just so honored and so happy to see it,
Once I get you up there, where the air is so rarefied, we're gonna glide.
And it fooled every magician, every scientist, and it was an honor to do it. I did it in China. Of course, I couldn't leave it alone. I had to do it as a Frank Sinatra number, singing with it, and it's just a great invention.
But I had never gotten to see it live in all the years. I saw myself do it on TV and everything, and David came to town and was in his show, and he comped tickets for me and 2 of my daughters that were there, and my mother and my brother and his wife, and about 4 magician friends, about 12 seats, about the 3rd row center, best seats in the house. And pretty soon he gets there and he does the levitation. First time I got to see it live, 3-dimensional. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, "Damn, that does look pretty good." Because I've only seen it in a mirror or on 2-dimensional tape, And it was a thrill to see that. And then the nice guy that he is, I did not expect this. He came to the microphone in the center stage and he said, "Now, you just saw I think, a great illusion. I can say that because I didn't invent it. A lot of my friends say, how do you get these tricks? Do you think them up yourself? A few I do, but we have guys in magic that are just great at this, and they invent these illusions, and I buy them, and then I have to choreograph them and costume them, put music with it, and it's a big process to produce and present them. And that's my job. But the one you just liked, the little lady from the audience that floated in the air, was invented by a Houston magician, and he's well known all over our country, but I know he's known in Houston, and it's Walter Zaney Blaney. He's my friend, and he taught me this trick, and I want Walter to stand up and take a bow. Well, when I stood up, instead of 6.5 feet tall, I felt 12 feet tall, especially in front of my mother and my brother and 2 of my daughters, you know. And that was a big thrill. I get goosebumps remembering that moment, you know. So that was so kind and so nice of David. I respect him for he didn't have to do that. He paid for it, he bought it, but he did that, and he knew that would how that would make me feel. So wherever you are, David, if you ever see this, God bless you. You made me feel great that night.